as you can tell from the title, it is how to continue enjoying gold making in Dragonflight. A lot of people have gotten to the point multiple times throughout this expansion where they're like, what do I do now? Like what are my goals? Like what am I trying to do? And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do to basically continue enjoying my time on World of Warcraft, especially for gold making, considering the fact that's a big part of what I do in the game. Now, if this is your first time here, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below on how you enjoy gold making. Or maybe if it's something else in the game that you take a break with, I'd totally love to talk about it. I love talking about World of Warcraft, so if you're interested, make sure you leave a comment down below. Also, I do want to make a shout out to all the Patreons over on Patreon. Thank you guys very much for the continuous support. If you guys are interested in TSM groups, sniping groups for point blank sniper, anything related to that, there's also a bunch of alt army related content over on Patreon. If you guys are interested in that, make sure you hop on over and check that out. There's a link in the description. Now let's get straight into the video. I have a lot of different ways to basically continue enjoying the game when it comes to gold making. Now in Dragonflight, it's no different. One of the things that I always do is I try to create goals for myself, right? I put it together being like, okay, well, I want to set up a certain amount of professions. I want to set up a certain amount of alt characters, or I want to do something completely different, right? Maybe I want to get up to a certain amount of gold. It all changes all the time. Now, very recently, a goal that I have set for myself is I want to get up to 100 level 70s. Now, the main reason for me wanting to do that is because in Dragonflight, we currently have a couple things that are really good for alt armies. And something that, obviously, if you've been here before on the channel, I really enjoy alt armies and the possibilities that you have with something like that. Now, in Dragonflight, we have tailoring, daily crafting bolts, Assure Weave bolts, and also Chronocloth bolts. And next to that, we also now have Dracophis from Alchemy, which is an alchemy transmute that came along with 10.1. Now, those two things are very, very profitable, and the more characters you have, the more of those type of things you can set up. Now, there's a couple other things that you also can do if you're more interested in like raw gold farms or the dragon riding racing that a lot of people are doing with that, or one-time collectibles, and then many other things that you can do with alt armies. My main thing is just having goals, even if it's short-term goals, right? It doesn't have to be a crazy goal like mine where you are like, okay, I want to get 100 level 70s. It could just be like, okay, well, I want 10, right? Or I want 5. And then, oh, well, I want to make it to 5 million gold. Well, how am I supposed to get there, right? Set up a plan for it, work through it, maybe, look into some guides, look up some channels or some inspiration from other people, right? Something that really works greatly for me is I hang out with a bunch of other gold makers that are interested in a lot of the different things that I am, and I get inspired to do all sorts of different challenges and get into all sorts of different things in the game because of something that other people did, right? Obviously, sometimes I do my own spin on it, I try something out, but that's been something that really has, not only kept me playing the game, but sometimes it's made my entire experience a lot better. And obviously something that happens when you're talking about something like this is that people are like, well, why are you trying so hard to continue playing the game? And, that's just a naysayer. I feel like that's just a very bleak way to look at it. And obviously, if you're watching this video, then you're probably trying to find out ways of enjoying gold making still. And something that I always do as well is I go back to old things that I used to enjoy, right? Whether or not they're maybe not as great anymore. Sometimes I get into a little bit of a transmog farming thing where I go back, I farm up a bunch of transmog for like a month or 2 or 3, and then I build up a bunch of transmog that I didn't sell for the next couple of months, right? Then I don't touch it for a long time. And having a lot of different options for what you can do in gold making is also super great, right? You could start a new challenge, you could start a WoW token challenge where you try to make enough for a WoW token, you could start on a new server or do something related to that. It's just having goals is one of the main things keeping me interested in gold making. And that's basically just me trying to talk to you guys about what my thoughts are around that. And that's the main driver for my enjoyment in the game, always having either short-term, medium, or very long-term goals, right? It's something that I think a lot of people don't really always consider, or maybe it's just something that they've not really been introduced to. And it's no different in Dragonflight. And I kind of just wanted to make this video just to talk about that by itself, because I've seen around in both my communities, but also a lot of other communities, that people are taking breaks, which is completely fine, by the way. If you are one to be like, okay, I'm going to take a break from the game, I'm going to put it down, go play something else, that's totally understandable as well. If you're feeling a little bit burnt out, there's no reason to continue playing if you don't feel up for it, right? You should only be playing if you're actually continuously having fun, right? And obviously, we all have different ideas of what is fun and what isn't fun, but it's one thing that is really important to think about. This video is more supposed to be a conversation starter, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you guys are more than free to dump your goals down in the description down in the comment section. Let me know what some of your goals are, or why you continue to enjoy gold making, or some of the things that you return to after you've maybe done a lot of current content, you got a little bored, and then what do you go over to next? Maybe it's collecting, maybe it's raiding, maybe it's PvP. Whatever it is, I'd love to talk about it down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and maybe it was inspirational, maybe it wasn't, but either way, I had fun making it. I appreciate you guys for watching, and until the next one, see ya!